everyone, it's Kit and welcome back to my channel. We're doing something a little different today. We are here with a speed build of the new house for my Generations Let's Play. This is gonna be Kendra and Ciro's, I guess you could say, forever home. They're definitely not moving after this because this house turned out to be huge. But yeah, this is gonna be their house. I'm super excited for you guys to see this, guys. I love how this house turned out. Oh my gosh. I love building in The Sims. I'm not as confident building in The Sims 3, I would say. I feel like building in The Sims 3 is a lot harder than building in The Sims 4. Which I feel like most people would agree with me with that. You know, Sims 3, it's not super hard to build, but there's a lot more like you're locked into stuff a bit more in The Sims 3 in comparison to The Sims 4. You have a lot more freedom in The Sims 4, I should say. But yeah, this is gonna be Kendra and Ciro's new house with their two girls, Juno, and as you saw from the last episode, their daughter that they adopted. But yeah, this is gonna be their forever home. This is where they get the rest of their children they're gonna have. This is where their children will grow up. I'm so excited for you guys to see more about this house, guys. Like I said, I really love how this house turned out. Fair warning, I jump around in this speed build a lot. And if you're watching this at certain points and you're like, Kit, this looks horrendous. None of the furniture matches. Trust the process, okay? Trust the process. It will get there. I do change colors eventually, I promise. It's just at the beginning, she's not cute. When I'm just laying out furniture, deciding what sort of furniture I want. Yeah, she's not cute. But she gets there, okay? I swear. Right now we're just working on the layout. This house, let's see, there ends up being, I think, 5 bedrooms upstairs and 3 bathrooms. And then there's also there's an office and a gym downstairs. Oh, no, there's 4 bathrooms upstairs. That's right. But on top of the 5 bedrooms and 4 bathrooms upstairs, it turns out that downstairs there is an office and a gym, which technically could become other bedrooms, but I don't think we'll need them to. And also, I believe 2 bathrooms downstairs. So total, it has the capacity of being a 7-bedroom, 6-bath, which is insane when you say it out loud. Dear Lord, why does anyone need that much house? But in The Sims, I mean, what the hell, you know? But I figured since the speed build is going to be such a long ride, this is going to be a trek, guys. I'm so sorry. I tried so hard to cut this down. I actually cut so much out of the speed build. I cut out so much of this. And I kept speeding it up more because I was like, this video is an hour and a half long. I can't have a speed build that's an hour and a half long. That is insane. So I kept cutting more out. I kept speeding it up a little bit, but I was worried about it being like too fast. I think the speed on this is okay. You guys are going to have to let me know your opinions because I'm not very familiar with speed builds. I don't know if this is good. You're going to have to let me know. But overall, this video is like 40 minutes, I think, which is crazy. But yeah, I figured since this video is going to be so freaking long, this could sort of be like a little nice time to, I don't know, do more of like an intro for me. You know, maybe a little bit more of like a get to know me sort of a thing. You know, I've had this channel for 3 years. I don't really talk about myself that much. So it might be fun to like sort of get to know the creator a little bit. I don't know. But yeah, I'm Kit. I'm 22 years old. I've been playing The Sims practically most of my life. I started playing The Sims 3 when I was I was like 6 or 7, which is kind of crazy when you say that out loud. I feel like, looking back, a 6-year-old probably should not have been playing that game. But I originally started playing The Sims when I was that age because my oldest sibling had The Sims. And I was very much the typical youngest child. I saw my older siblings and I just like idolized them. I wanted to be them. So I was like, oh, he's playing The Sims. So it must be cool. So I want to play The Sims. So I started playing The Sims because I, at the time, was being homeschooled in elementary school. He was attending high school in person. So he was like, yeah, you can play on my computer while I'm at school. I don't care. I'm not here. Whatevs. So I started playing The Sims while he was at school. And I absolutely fell in love with this game, let me tell you guys. I played it all the time. And oh my gosh, this is actually kind of a funny story. The first like real playthrough I ever did with The Sims, I had this family, I started with just this one sim. She got married. She got married. She had kids. These Sims were elders, and they had their children were adults. I think they had a couple grandchildren at this point. Like it had been a while. So I was like, they were great. It was awesome. And my brother comes home from school one day, and he was like, "Oh, you're playing Sims?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm playing Sims." And he comes over to the computer and he's looking at my household and he's like, "Why aren't your Sims married? They're elders. You never got them married?" And I was like, "What do you mean? They're married. They're in love." And he was like, "No, that little heart on their little relationship tab means that the romantic interests, they're not even officially dating yet." And I was just so confused. I was like, "What do you mean?" I thought that heart, because I, as a young child, I didn't know what the term "propose going steady" meant. So I just figured that it was just, I didn't know what it meant. So I wasn't going to click it, I didn't know that meant, asking to be your boyfriend or your girlfriend. I didn't know that meant, asking to be your partner. I was so confused. So I was like, I'm just not going to do it. So I had these people move in together. I was like, that's fine. See that little heart next to there? That means they're in love. They must be married. Oh, you sweet little innocent baby. Oh my gosh. It's actually really ridiculous when I think back behind it. But looking back, it's so funny. So, long story short, I finally, once I realized what that meant, I had my Sims actually become officially dating. I had them get married and all their children were there. And because they were elders, they literally died like 2 days after. It was wild. But yeah, I've always played The Sims. I am a Sims girly at heart. I love her. I remember when The Sims 4 came out. When the release date was announced, I remember I did every single little odds and end job around the house that I could think of to make a little bit of money. Because I was like, no, you don't understand. I need this game, guys. I was full on obsessed with The Sims at this point. I was like, no, I need it. So I did absolutely everything that I could to get up like a little bit of money so that I could buy her when she comes out. And I remember the day it came out, I went over to my grandma's house and I was like, "Grandma, I need to spend that money. I need to buy The Sims 4. And she was like, "You're gonna, all that money that you earned and you're gonna buy a video game?" And I was like, "You don't understand. I need it." I was like, "I've been waiting for this for months. I'm so excited. I need it." And she was like, "Okay." So she helped me buy it because at the time, I was like, oh gosh, I think I was 12. I don't remember, honestly. It's been so long. But it was great. I got it, but it was so late at night, she didn't let me play it. So I had to wait until the morning after, and I remember I could not sleep at all. I was so excited to start playing The Sims 4. And I do love The Sims 4. I still do play The Sims 4 a lot. But The Sims 3 will always have my heart. Okay, guys. I love this game. This game is my childhood. This game is my first love. And I love it so much. Being able to make content like this and just sort of have fun. It's very, it heals my little inner child, my little baby kit that was obsessed with like life simmer. That's a universal experience. There was so many like small YouTubers that played The Sims 3 back then, and most of them don't even make content anymore, which makes me so sad because I loved watching them growing up. But like Life Simmer, I loved watching. When I got a little older, I found Lil Simsy's channel. I am obsessed with Lil Simsy. I love that girl. Her content is so good. I used to watch a lot of James Turner, and just like a bunch. I honestly can't even remember half of the channel names of the people that I used to watch, just because most of them don't make content anymore, which is so sad. But I used to watch so many. I've always been so obsessed with The Sims. I love this game so much. Let's see, what else about me? I can talk about my fur babies. Oh my gosh. So, when I started this channel 3 years ago, I had a dog. I still have her. She's not dead. I still have my baby. She is a Papillon Chihuahua mix. Her name is Violet. She is my baby. She's my love. I adopted her when I was in elementary school, and I'm a college graduate now, so my little baby's not a baby. She is actually quite old, but she is still doing great. She actually just recently put on a little thyroid medication, which hurt my little heart because I was like, oh my gosh, my baby's getting so old. But no, she's doing great. She's doing good. And oh gosh, almost 2 years ago, I adopted my cat, who is a little menace to society. I love him, but dear Lord, is that cat just everything everywhere all at once. My cat, his name is Cardin. He's a Maine Coon mix. He's not, when you think of Maine Coon and you're like cat the size of a Great Dane, he's not like that. He's a mix. He's still a big boy though. He is not full grown. He's still growing a little bit. He's mostly full grown, but he's still growing a little bit. And he's 20 pounds, and he's not chunky at all. He's a beefy boy. He has muscle, and he's huge. He stretches, and he can reach my hip. It's actually crazy. He's a big boy. But I adopted him. It'll be 2 years this August, which is crazy to think that I've actually already had him that long. But at the time, I had been starting to look into adopting a cat. I was like, I really want another animal. I want another baby. I'm emotionally ready to take one on. I'm financially ready to take one on. I want another animal. So I wanted to get a cat. So I had a dog and a cat. So I've been looking around at shelters, making appointments, looking at some younger cats. I know I didn't want to get an older cat, but I was looking at younger cats. And when I found Cardin, oh my gosh, I immediately knew. I was like, nah, that baby is mine. And I remember I made an appointment to meet him officially the next day, and I had met 4 other cats before him that same day at the shelter, and I wasn't really vibing with any of them. Obviously they're kittens, so they're adorable, but I wasn't really vibing with any of them. I was like, yeah, they're cute, but I don't think you're for me, because at the same time I'm also looking to adopt with the mindset of, I do also have an older dog. I want to make sure that this animal that I'm bringing in doesn't, it fits with the household that I already have going on, So, I wasn't really vibing with any of the other animals. Then Cardin comes, and the lady at the shelter puts this little 4-month-old baby in my arms. He immediately starts purring. He's making biscuits on my chest, and he starts licking my face. And I start crying, right? But immediately I was like, no, this is my baby. This is my son. And I named him Carden because, okay, little facts about me. I am a huge book lover. I love reading books. I'm just obsessed with reading books. I really am. I read a lot of books, and my office actually is like half office, half library, pretty much. I have a lot of books, guys. But one of my favorite book series is the Folk of the Air trilogy by Holly Black. I am obsessed with that book series. Holly Black is seriously one of my favorite authors ever. She is incredible. But one of the main characters in that book, if you're familiar, his name is Carden. And when I met my cat, he, so like I said, he's a Maine Coon mix, so he's huge, but he has like a tuxedo-y kind of fur pattern. And tuxedos usually have like a black outline around their face with like either a fully black face or like a white circular like intersection of their face. And he has that sort of white intersection, but instead of it going around both of his eyes, it sort of like the black sort of eclipsed one of his eyes. And when I first saw him, I was like, oh my gosh, he has an emo side bang. And I thought it was so funny. So I was like, you know, after like getting to know him, I was like, this cat is sassy. This cat is a little prima donna. He's a diva. And, you know, he has this little like emo side bang. I was like, this is Carden. This is Carden Greenbrier. His name is Carden. Sorry, guys. His name is Carden. And so I named him Carden. And he really does honestly live up to that name. It's really funny that he has so many like little like things that I'm like, yeah, that's Carden Greenbrier vibes. It is. So yeah, I have my dog and my cat. And funnily enough, August of last year, of 2024, I adopted a second cat. Not that I was looking to. What happened was actually my fiance was coming over to my house, and there's a couple different stray cats in my house, right? Not my house, in my neighborhood. And there's this one specific one that's super friendly with humans, and she had been in our neighborhood for about 6 months at that point. Like, she'd been around for a while. Like, it was very obvious that she was a stray. She was not just like an outdoor cat. This cat did not have an owner, you know? And she was like by our house when he got here. So he goes over and, you know, he's loving on her a little bit because, you know, she was receptive to it. And afterward he's like, hey, bye, meow, meow. You know, he comes over to my house and she follows him. Just follows him. And I open the door and I'm like, babe, why do you have a cat with you? What are you doing? And so he ends up coming in, and this cat stays on our front porch all night. And eventually, you know, should we see her walking off? And because we were like, at that point, we were getting to the point where we were like, oh gosh, this cat is sitting on our front porch and meowing for hours. You know, there's only so much our hearts can take. And eventually we're getting to the point where we're like, we're going to crack. And we don't want another cat. But we can't just leave this little baby just out there, just meowing, wanting a home. But eventually she walked off and we're like, okay, it's fine, guys. We're okay. Yeah, we were not. What happened was the next morning, we went out to like grab something in his car, I think, or something like that. I don't really remember at this point. But when we walked out, we saw that she had slept under my mom's car all night, guys. She was sleeping under my mom's car. And the second she saw the two of us, she perked up, you know, walking over to us, meowing, and started like rubbing up against our ankles. And we're like, oh my gosh. We didn't want a second cat. but I think this cat wants us. So we're like, okay, how do we even go about this? So what we ended up doing was locking up all the animals in the house, because at that point we didn't know if this cat was sick, if there was like maybe like this cat had a disease. We didn't know. And so obviously we're gonna do what we can to make sure that our other animals are safe as well. So what we did was we locked all of our animals up, and we opened our front door just to see if what she would do. And she just walks into our house, guys. She just walks in. As if this was her house. She just walks in. Walks into our house. And she just immediately makes herself right at home. She's laying on the floor. She's rubbing up all against the humans that are in the house. Making biscuits, doing her thing. And we're like, oh my gosh. What the hell? Because we honestly didn't think that she would even be okay with it. Because, a lot of times when you have an outdoor cat and you bring it indoors, it freaks out, So we had our front door open so that she could run out at any time if she wanted to. We had it open for like an hour or two. And she never wanted to go outside or like leave or anything. And we're like, okay. So after like I said, like an hour or two, I was like, hey, I'm going to try something. And this will probably make her want to run out, which if that's what she wants to do, that's on her. So I get up and I close the front door. She doesn't care a lick. She's just looking at me like, okay, am I supposed to care? Like, I'm home. I don't care that you closed the door. And I was like, oh my gosh, we have a cat. So we ended up locking her in a spare bedroom for the weekend. Because again, we couldn't get her into the vet until that, like I said, like the beginning of the next week. And we didn't know if she had like I said, some sort of like disease or something. We were, making sure that we did our due diligence. Due diligence. Oh my gosh. I'm going to keep that in. That's funny. We're doing our thing to make sure that our animals that we already have as well are safe, that she's safe from our animals, all that sort of thing. Because we didn't know, we didn't know if maybe she was someone else's pet and maybe she'd gotten out or something. We didn't think that was very likely since she's been out of, like, if she's been in the neighborhood for 6 months, but still. So we take her into the vet, make sure that she's not sick or anything. She clear bill of health. And she was scanned for a microchip. Didn't have a microchip. Made sure that she was a female, because we were assuming she was a female, but we didn't know for sure. And she was a female. So we're like, okay, cool. No microchip. Okay. Made sure she had all of her like shots and everything to make sure that, she was all good. And even, we still did like our thing to make sure that this wasn't someone else's pet that we were just hijacking, So we had posters out in the neighborhood. We were talking to neighbors to make sure, like, see if they knew anything. We posted like online to make sure to see if like maybe this was someone's animal and maybe she'd gotten so far away from home that she couldn't find her home, find her old home anymore. But nothing ever big, like what we ended up in, also the vet also thinks as well, is that she was dumped by her previous owners, which is why she is so used to humans, and like a lot of strays don't really do that. But she was like super fine. She was like perfectly okay with us. So we were like, she was definitely someone's previous pet before. And the idea that she is so sweet, you guys, she is the biggest little love bucket. And the idea that someone would just dump her because she's so sweet. It breaks my heart, guys. Because she is seriously the best little baby ever. She's just such a little love bug. She's so sweet. She'll just lay on you and purr and make biscuits and cuddle on you for hours. She is the best little girl. And it hurts my heart so bad to think that someone would just dump her like that. Because frankly, if she was taken to a shelter, she would have zero problems getting adopted. She is such a good girl, you guys. And that hurts my little heart, but I'm very happy that we have her. And we ended up, we named her Jude because, Cardin and Jude. Jude is the female character from that book. And I was like, I mean, we already have Cardin. Might as well stick to it, you know? So we have Violet, Cardin, and Jude. Which is kind of funny, but those are my babies. Let's see, what else do we have to talk about? Like I said, I graduated from my undergraduate degree. When I first started this channel, I was just starting it. And I have graduated now, which is very exciting. I'm starting my master's program 2 months from now. 2 months from now. I start my graduate program 2 months from now. And I'm so excited, guys. Oh my gosh. I'm very excited. I'm really looking forward to it, I think. I mean, don't get me wrong. Once I'm in it, I'm going to be like, why was I excited about this? I'm stressed. But right now, I'm very excited. And I'm just excited to, I'm excited to actually, like, get going with stuff, you know? Like, after I finish my master's program, I'm going to become a dietitian, which I'm really excited about. I think I'm really excited for that, guys. I keep saying that, but I'm really so excited. Let's see, what else? I guess I could talk about my fiance. That's something I could talk about. He actually proposed the day I graduated. He didn't propose at my graduation ceremony. He wasn't that cliche. But he proposed the day that I graduated. It was really cute. What ended up happening was we had plans to go to an aquarium after my graduation because there's like a traveling aquarium exhibit in the town. And it sounded really fun. So we're like, yeah, for sure, we'll go. And what had ended up happening was, there was, as part of this aquarium, there was like a stingray exhibit, but there was like an upper deck, so you could sort of walk above a portion of it, and there was like a glass floor sort of a thing. It was really cool. And he ended up proposing on the upper deck. It was very pretty, very cute. My family was all there. My best friend was there. My sister-in-law ended up actually recording it, so I have a video of it. Oh, it's great. It was really cute. He was so nervous, which is so adorable. But it was very sweet, and not to get mushy, but oh my gosh, I love him so much. We have been together for 2 years now. When I first started this channel, I did not have a boyfriend, let alone a fiance, you know? But we just started dating a little over 2 years ago. It's been a little over 2 years at this point. And it's actually really funny because I met him through my brother. He is my oldest brother's best friend, which is such a cliche. Oh my gosh. It's really funny, honestly, because I've known him for like 6 or 7 years at this point, right? Because of my brother. And I remember, so he always says that he's had a thing for me for, oh gosh, since another one of my siblings got married about like 6 months before he ended up asking me out. And he obviously came to that wedding because he's my oldest brother's best friend. He's basically at this point part of our family, just because he's around so much. So of course he was invited to the other sibling's wedding, and after that night, all my family's coming up to me and they're like, "Dude, he has a thing for you." And I'm like, "No, he doesn't. He doesn't have a thing for me. No." And they're like, "Oh, he has a thing for you. That boy does not flirt with people. He's flirting with you. He has a thing for you." And I remember I straight up told my family, I was like, I would never date that man. He's a great guy. He's not for me. Would never date him. Yeah, ate the hell out of my words, because 6 months later he asked me out and I said yes. But But honestly, oh my gosh, that sounds really bad, but it's looking back, it's funny because I remember like I was like so hell bent against it. I was like, I would never date that man. That man is not for me. He, you know, I wish him all the best of luck. He's a great guy. He's not for me. Yeah. Did not work out very well on my part. But no, things are great, honestly. We're looking to get married next year, which is crazy. Oh my gosh. You know, in my heart of hearts, because I graduated during COVID, right? I was a class of 2020. I was a class of 2020 girly, and in my heart of hearts, because of that, I still feel like I'm in high school half the time. You know, like I was graduating a year early, so I lost my junior year, and then on top of that, I lose the last like fourth of my senior year because of COVID. And because I was a little younger, my mom was like, I don't want you going out to college while you're still a minor. Because I graduated at 17, since I graduated a year early. And I was like, okay, fair enough. So I was like, I'll do my first year online. Yeah, and then COVID happened, and I wasn't going to be going out at all. Because I was like, you know, at that point, my family, we're all like, a lot of us have like high risk health issues. I was like, I don't want to like risk exposure more than I have to. You know, my mom has diabetes. I have diabetes. You know, there's a lot of people in my household and just in my family in general that are like in the high risk category. So I was like, going out, and at that point when it was so prevalent, going out just, and honestly, at that point, most campuses weren't even open. So I was like, I mean, I have to be online. And I just sort of stayed online because it ended up being what worked best for my schedule. But going from like having a junior year for like 2 weeks, and then my senior year, and then the last end of the end of my senior year being taken away from me, and my high school graduation and being taken away from me, and just being like a drive-through ceremony. And since then, you know, being going into having an online degree program, half the time I'm like, what do you mean? I'm a full-blown adult. I have a job. I'm getting married. Like, what do you mean? What do you mean? I'm just a girl. You know? It's freaking crazy to think about that. But here we are. We're doing it anyway. And it's crazy. Wow, I've been yapping for a really long time, guys. I really thought that I was gonna yap for like half of this and then just have like music to go for the last little bit. But we're near the end. I should just spend some time actually talking about the build for once. But right now we're working in the backyard. We have like a grill area for them to like have like outdoor eating. We have like a fireplace. I don't want to hear anything about me putting wood at the trim of that fireplace. I don't want to hear anything. It's The Sims. It's not going to catch fire. I don't care. Okay. It looks pretty. I'm only here for the vibes. I'm here for the vibes. I'm here for the aesthetics. I'm not here for functionality. I don't care. You know, it's not going to catch fire. It's fine. But it looks pretty. So I'm gonna go with it. Obviously, you know, this is generations. So I'm going to be wanting myself to have a little tree house. I think that tree house turns out so cute. That little area, I really like how it turned out. And you guys, I am not a landscaping girly. I really am not. Landscaping in The Sims 4 is a little easier in my opinion, but landscaping in The Sims 3 is hard. I honestly have no idea. I know these bushes are custom content. I have no idea where they came from. Zero idea. I have no recollection of downloading them, but they look nice. They look nice, and honestly, they were such a lifesaver because I had no idea what I was going to be putting for landscaping in this house, like around this house. But I found them. They look great. It was all great all around. Right now we're placing some trees down, and I had such a hard time with figuring out what trees I wanted to do, guys. Let me tell you, because realistically, it's The Sims. The trees don't matter. But to me, that tree in the back corner, the entire time I was thinking, like, that's such a bad thing. That's so dangerous to have all that tree dangling around that neighbor's house. That neighbor would hate us. What if something ever happened and that tree falls down? That roof is being caved in. My roof could be getting caved in. Girl, it is a Sims. It is not that serious. But I was freaking out. I was like, I can't. And so that's why I kept moving and like inching it ever so slightly around, because I was like, this is awful. Which is so silly. It's The Sims. It does not matter. But that was my plight. Right now we're working on some terrain paint, just because it just makes it look a little nicer, I think. Makes it look a little bit more finished. But yeah, honestly, we're towards the end now. This house, it turned out being very expensive. It's pretty expensive. So we're gonna have to do some stuff next week to make sure that we can afford it. But I'm pretty sure we can do some inheritance. It'll be fine. It'll be fine, guys. Trust. It'll be fine. But I really love how this house turns out, guys. I think it turned out really, really cute, and I just am obsessed with it. I think it turned out really nice. Yeah. Trying to think of something else to say, because at this point I'm not going to be cutting out for like 3 minutes just of like 3 minutes of music. That's lame. Let's see what else we have. We're finishing up the pool right now. I decided to not do a blue pool. I thought that the beige pool was kind of fun. Maybe, I don't know. I would really love a pool trim. Honestly, the pool trims in Sims 4 have spoiled me, but alas, is what it is. Let's see, what else do we have? We're doing some pool lights, and then this is slightly embarrassing. And then, how in The Sims 4, when you place a floaty in the pool, it starts on the top? Yeah, I forgot that in The Sims 3 it doesn't do that, and you have to do it in live mode. So I kept trying to place it, and I was getting so frustrated that it kept ending up in the bottom of the pool. So I scrapped it. Well, I'll probably get one when we actually move in. But we're working on some outdoor lighting now to make sure that, it's not super dark at night. The spacing of these lights, I'm not gonna lie, they're not perfectly even. I tried so hard to make them even, but they're not. And we're gonna have to pretend that we don't see it. But yeah, guys, we're gonna go ahead and end this here. This is pretty much the end of the speed build. I know this sort of jumped around a lot, so I'll show off the house a little bit better in next week's part of Generations when we move in. I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you did, feel free to like and subscribe and do all that fun stuff, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye, guys.